I see, so I'm just getting on the PACT website over here, which is the nice and beautiful website that some guy just did give me, in terms of did give me. So I'm making sure that no matter what that I do give me in terms of my word I everything. So I just go on the PACT website, which is the Pact Pay Calculator. And I'm making sure anyway that since I go on this nice and beautiful website over here, I'm making sure I'm just going to read all that information to you. And I read everything in terms of information about all they have in terms of what they're doing, so I can go and really study upon understanding that this Fair Work Ombudsman, which is the Australian government, has a pay and leave and ending employment section with an about us section, and also how we help and how we will help and how I do help, and also how I understand they have an awards and agreements service, and also with employee entitlements service. So I'm saying that no matter what, I just go in the actual overview over here on the whole website, and I just go and read the whole website. So I'm saying to have a pay calculator. And I'm saying in this calculator, I'm making sure that no matter what, it's more how I see they have coronavirus information with quarantine, and I'm making sure that they do self-isolation and sudden lockdowns and all these pay and leave stand downs and more information about that. And then I'm understanding that no matter what, that since you understand straight away that I'm learning very quickly as well upon I'm learning very quickly upon all that as well. But they also have the basic pay rates and allowances and penalty, or they have some penalty rates as well, where you can go and do, including overtime rates, where you can go and give people in terms of tools to make sure that the info line that they have in terms of also our advisors to use to answer your questions and inquiries, where you can call them to answer your inquiries as well. And you can understand straight away that you can always find the information you need. And you can always go to see, are you an employee or an employer? And you can always understand that you have to help tailor yourself to the tools and to the use the language you have to mean in terms of to be able to use the language that is relevant to you, to make sure that no matter what, that you are the employee who's looking for either pay rates, or your employer who's looking to pay rates. I mean, you have to understand which one you are. Then understand that you have to, you also have to show them the pay rates from the day. So you have to understand straight away to show them what day you want everything to be happening for you in terms of which days. And you have to understand straight away how you can also choose various tools for making sure that you can go overview, so that you can go overview our website, so you can learn everything in terms of terms and conditions of everything. And also you have to understand that this website over here has a stay up to date function with Facebook and Twitter and YouTube channels, and also have a subscribe to email updates list. And you have to understand straight away that you have a site and map where you can find them, and you can also understand the news and media sites that they have as well. And they have a relating sites contents as well in terms of anything that's anything in that's in terms of relations with them as well, or they have a relation kind of content deal. And they also have careers and copyright reasons, and they have a disclaimer, which is a privacy kind of disclaimer service, where I'm understanding that no matter what, that they're always using the fairwork.gov.au type of website, but they are always in connection to land and waters and communities, and they're making sure that they're giving people respect around their cultures and elders and past and present and future. And they're making sure that just giving you that kind of information. But what you do is you go on the Pact website, which is also a pay and conditions tool, where you're understanding straight away that you're giving people the pay calculator, which is including the allowances and penalty rates, which is the pay calculator, and then the shift calculator is the rates for your shifts as well. And they are saying that leave calculator is the annual leave and sick carers leave stuff. And then you're understanding then that you have the notice in terms of the notice and redundancy calculator, which is entitlements for ending employment, and also saving sessions, where you resume previously saving sessions where you were saving your products and you can resume your contents that you were doing, is in the nice and beautiful saving sessions over here, in terms of the save sessions that they have in terms of the service, which is being able to save your money in a way that you're saving your words in a way that you're giving. And just making sure that no matter what, that they have a save sessions over here. Anything where you've been saving sessions around there, you can go and continue the service, is what I'm saying. And then they have they have a nice and beautiful help service over here, where they have more information about awards, in terms of awards and the PACT information, which is PACT. And you have to understand straight away that PACT is a website, but as you go through the overview of a website, then you're just showing people what is on the website. And that way you're learning the what, and then you understand straight away how you can do that straight away, as I've just done it for you. then I understand anyway that when I go through that website, I'm making sure that you can see that you can find your award website, and you can see that no matter what, you can go and see they have extra buttons over here where they have next and back. They have saving sessions and start again, and also save the content that you've done already. And there's a process, or there's a nice and beautiful processing dock over here as well, where you can go on it and answer your questions and look for information that you need. Then you go and see that they have a minimum pay rates as well, where they understand that it differs depending on the award that the applies in terms of that the nice and beautiful person is giving to the job or business. So you must understand that you either have you either have an award or you have no awards. So make sure you have always more awards. So make sure that your help to in terms of you're helping yourself to find the right award and packed, and you're making sure that no matter what that you can watch their packed kind of information with award coverage videos. And as you press next, for example, then they ask you questions over here in terms of what's happening around life over here. I'm not saying that no matter what, as I go through that information over here, I'm not saying that they ask you what is your occupation. They're asking you to generate a list of similar job titles, or like a waiter or shop assistant or receptionist that you may be doing. And then they're saying that job titles over here, just the best fits of the occupation to help us, just to help yourself to find awards that you have throughout life. So if you're understanding that, then you have to choose the industry you're working in, and you just press next as well. But you have to search by industry as well, always, to make sure that you can see what industry you work in. And then you go and select your work. Go and select your actual industry here, and then understand that you can also go back to your occupation over here as well. But I'm understanding that as you go and see what you are in terms of life, then I'm understanding that no matter what, you can go and click something else like a shift calculator over here. And the shift calculator in terms of life over here, I'm understanding that no matter what, that they have different informational services for everything. But you can say that you're an employer who's looking to pay rates, and then you go as an employer and you give them the date in terms of which pay rates as a date of what. So I'm understanding today is the 17th. So just say, for example, the day that you're actually living on. So if you're living on the 28th of whatever, then make sure that you write the date today is what they're asking for. And then make sure anyway that as you go and do that, are you giving people a rewards for your services, or what's happening? Is there rewards? I'm probably sure I'll just say yes. I'm probably sure there's a reward. I'm always giving awards to my business employees and customers. So I'm making sure that now as I select my awards, I can select for a different type of awards over here. And there's different types of rewards. There's the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Health Workers and Practitioners Aboriginal Community Controlling Health Services Award. And there's also Age Caring Awards, which there's Air Pilots Award, and probably there's all types of awards over here. Probably there's many awards that you can give. But if I go through the list over here, probably there's so many that I have to go and read out to you. So I'm saying Air Pilots Award, and there's also Aircraft Cabinet Crew Award. There's also Airline Operations and Ground Staff Award, which there's Airport Employees Award and Alpine Resorts Award, and also Aluminium Industry Award, which it's more Ambulance and Patient Transport Industry Award. And also, as I read this information, I'm learning myself all the information as well. So there is an Amusement Events and Recreation Award, and Animal Care and Veterinary Services Award, and also I see Aquaculture Industry Award, and also Architects Award. And there is Asphalt Industry Award, and there is also Banking and Finance and Insurance Award. And there is also a Black Coal Mining Industry Award. And there is a Book Industry Award, and there is a Broadcasting, Recording, Entertainment and Cinemas Award. I realize there's also a Building and Construction General On-Site Award. There is a Business Equipment Award. There's a nice and beautiful car park. There's a Car Parking Award, and Cement and Lime and Quarrying Award. And there is also a Cemetery Industry Award, and there's also a Children's Services Award and Cleaning Services Award, and also a Clerks Private Sector Award, and Coal Export Terminals Award, and also Commercial Sales Award, and Concrete Products Award, and Contract Cause Centers Award, and Corrections and Detention Private Sectors Award. There's also Cotton Greening Award. There is Dredging Industry Award. There is Dry Cleaning and Laundry Industry Award. I see there's Educational Services Post Secondary Education Award. There's Educational Services Schools General Staff Award. I can see over here that there is Educational Services Teachers Award. I see there's Electric Power Industry Award. See Electrical Power Industry Award, and also Electronic Communications Contracting Award. In terms of there is a Electrical, Electronic and Communications Skills Contracting Award. So I'm saying this one here is the electrical, electronic, and communications contracting award, with a fast food industry award and firefighting industry award, and also fitness industry award and food and beveraging tobacco manufacturing award, and also funeral industry award and gardening and landscaping award and gas industry award and general retail industry award and graphics printing and publishing award. I mean, there's all sorts of awards that you can get for yourself, but there's no giving up over here. So I'm understanding straight away that if you're going through all the information and just go and find what you need out of all these awards, so I'm understanding straight away that as I go and grow myself, I'm just looking to see straight away all type of awards over here. So I'm understanding there's many awards that you can get. I mean, for every fucking word in the dictionary, I'm they're giving you an award for every kind of word in the dictionary that you understand. I mean, that's what they're saying. I mean, just go through that information quickly and just understand that you have to speed read everything like that. And that way you're just giving an award. I mean, what kind of award I'm giving over here? I'm giving the book award over here. I mean, come here. I mean, I give him whatever award you want, man. I mean, I just give him some freaking award over here. So no matter what that, I realize it's more educational services over here. I mean, I give him my educational services award. I make sure anyway that what I do is I move on and I make sure that you guys understand that if you have your word I, then make sure you're reading to customers everything in terms of words, but learning yourself upon life. But I'm not saying that since I went through that section, I'm learning that you summarize everything about what they're doing and make sure you're never fucking reading 50 million words that they say, but just summarize the whole picture into word I. And probably just they're giving the fucking I service and that's it. I mean, they're just talking about I and that's it. I mean, just move on. I mean, you're saying, because that way you're learning. I mean, is your employee a trainer? I mean, is your eligible employee for a support wage? I mean, is your employer an apprentice? I say no. I say over here, I say, is my employer an apprentice? I say no. I say, is your employee eligible for a supporting wage? I say no. I say, is your employer a trainee? I say yes. Rush anyway. I realize it's much more how I just see the actual traineeship over here. So there's a traineeship award. I realize they're giving traineeship awards around here. And I'm saying that anyway, they go through classification through clicking the software around here, and I'm making sure that I just move on very quickly because I'm studying what I need to do over here. So is it part-time or full-time they're giving out? And I'm understanding straight away that they're giving all these nice and beautiful, let's say, summaries. So they give a shift calculator is unavailable over here. So I have everything that's available. So what I do is I move on. But it's more how you're just going through the information. But as you go through the information, you can see straight away how you're just doing your nice and beautiful check over here. I'm not saying that no matter what day, it's much more how you have to be more certain about everything, and you have to make sure that they give penalties as well about something. And I see selecting penalties. I mean, you can always select a penalty or something, and you can see straight away how people can work overtime and people can go work through a mental break or meal break or anything that's around a nice and beautiful affordable rate of yourself, to understand straight away that they're asking you, are you a 9 to 5 service? Or I mean, I'm saying that no matter what, it's much more how this applies to people who are just working around the 9 to 5 businesses, and they're asking 9 to 5 businesses over here to do 9 to 5 work. Is what they're doing on the line. Or they're asking people to work 9 to 5 here, and that's it. I mean, since what I do is I move on. Probably that's never for me. Actually, for me, it's the information behind this, but I'm not saying that no matter what, I'm just looking for the information. But as you go and really view what you need to do, I'm not saying that no matter what, I can see straight away to just move on. And I'm not saying that no matter what, that the information I need right now is to ask myself right now, what kind of information do I need? I need to get the information behind giving the money of the service. And I understand that no matter what, that it's more how I have to get the tax file number. I have to get the tax file number. I have to be able to go and study upon helping myself to understand that on a day of whatever they're doing. I get the tax file number, I get the BSB and account number, and I file it for tax in the tax number. And where do I get that tax number? I mean, where do I bring that tax number to? I have to show it to somebody. I have to show it to the taxation office, yeah? I have to say, hey, this customer over here, I mean, do I call them? Do I have to call them? I have to call them. I have to say, this customer, I'm giving them this money. I'm giving them this money. I mean, what's the number? I mean, what's the BSB number? And I have to file it through tax. And the tax file number that they have is filing it through tax, yeah? Or that's it. Or should I get the BSB and account number? I I place the fucking tax file number into that account number, but where the fuck do I create that payslip? Approach that payslip something different. But then guess what? Approach it's more how on a day they fucking come to you on a day and they work, and then guess what? Approach you file them through the pay taxation office and make sure you put their tax file number. So you have to always ask for their tax file number first. And once you get their tax file number, then you have a certain script or payslip that they have to sign, a contract deal. And once they have a contract deal with you, then guess what happens? Then they're on the payroll. And what's a payroll? I mean, payroll is making sure that you have the customer, is what we're talking about, and they're working for you. And then after a certain time, you pick a date, or else you pick a day when to actually give them the money. And the money, I mean, you can say, hey, I mean, work for me today, but you get it on Thursday. I mean, today's Monday, but you get it on Thursday. I mean, if you work for me today for 2 hours, you get your money on Thursday at before 12 a.m. And then make sure you understand that from that point, I mean, where do you get the money? I mean, where do you actually go and send the money out? I mean, the money is sending, I mean, you're sending the money whenever. I mean, you send the money whenever. And then what happens from that point? I mean, from that point, you're looking to study what else you have to do. I mean, I'm saying that no matter what, that since you understand that information, I understand straight away how I've taught you that information. Or as although, do you have to go to the banks for that? I mean, yes, I mean, you have to go to the banks. I mean, do you have to go to the bank? I'm pretty sure it's much more how I understand straight away that with that nice and beautiful information there, it's more how I feel that it's really, really how I understand straight away that it's much more how that information is what that is. I'm understanding that from this point now, or else what else on there, I have to make sure that no matter what, that I can study upon how to actually get that money across to those individuals. I mean, I have to call them up. I have to call the people up. I have to call who up? I have to call up the taxation office. I have to say, hey, this individual over here, I have to actually study upon how to give those numbers to the people. I mean, how do I actually file that tax file number with the BSPN account number, which is done where? I mean, that's done through your application. I mean, you give the money through your application. I mean, they send orders now. That's the information I need. I mean, I have to go and understand that I have to give people money through payroll through my phone. I mean, through the phone, yeah. That's how it's done. Now, what I do is I open up my phone here. I open up my phone. I have to file the tax file number inside the phone. And is that it? That's it. That's all you have to do. Now, it's much more how I understand straight away from that point. I mean, what other information is there? I realize there's a pay over here. I have to pay someone. I mean, as soon as you pay someone, I mean, what do? I mean, type in their bank number. I mean, you can type in their mobile number. I mean, you can type in their mobile number or bank account, or else you can choose to give them through bank account. And now, what is the account number, or else what is the account name and BSPN account number? And then you understand to that, or else you understand straight away to give that. And then how about the tax file number? I mean, tax file number is something different. I mean, where does the tax file number go here? I mean, so that's the thing, yeah. So what I need to do is I need to call the taxation office here to ask them how to actually go and give money to them while giving money and hiring customers here. I understand that. So what I do is I have to call up the taxation office and I have to talk to them, and I have to understand straight away to get the inquiries of the taxation office. So what I do is I have that on their website. I have all that information on their website. But what I do with this information is I move on. I understand straight away that I can see straight away what I'm doing over here. But no matter what, I can see straight away to just go to the information I need. I mean, or else the information I need is what I need to be successful about. So I see the ATO over here. I see ATO. And ATO is the taxation office here in Australia. I'm making sure anyway that since I understand that, or else it's much better for me to call them. I mean, it's much better for me to just go and search up whatever I need. So I have a search term over here. I have to just say I have to pay customers. I say pay employees. I say pay employees. I have to pay employees superannuation and also more. So I understand they have a bonus where they give people bonuses and taxes, and also superannuation and cents per kilometer, and also forms, and with paying customers without a TFN. And I have to understand straight away what that is over here. And then also paying customers while also waiting for a TFN. Alright, now that's all information over here. So just go towards the interesting information. So over here it's really withholding the ESS. So what's that? I mean, what is that? I mean, let's have a look. I mean, there's all types of information over here. So if you're looking for the website, you can always find what you need. So if you're looking for a nice and beautiful discount in your ESS, and what is ESS? I mean, ESS is something that's basic. It's an employees type of firm. We understand that no matter what, you have more enough ESS in your tax repertoire. We understand that it's like a TFN number, and you're making sure that you can go and get discounts services with your ESS interests. And you can make sure that no matter what, it's all with tax appliers, and making sure that your employer, in terms of somebody who's giving you money or whoever you're giving money to, that it goes through tax, and that you're relating everything to make sure that you're never withholding tax. So you have the highest tax rate as well, in a way that you understand that the highest tax rate is the best kind of tax rate. So make sure that no matter what, that you go for tax-free breaks, and then making sure you understand that you have to understand that every single day, that you have to understand that I just go and do greater. So as I do greater, I'm learning very quickly upon what's going on around here. So as I actually give the money, or as I give the money over here, I understand that they're offsetting the withholding tax paid against any other amounts owed to you. I understand that no matter what, it's more how you must understand straight away that if you're looking for credits or any kind of withholding tax on your nice and beautiful credit loan or whatever it is, then making sure that no matter what, that you're holding a total amount of withholding tax paid income to make sure that you can go and put it into real estate is what they're saying. And that's how it's understanding that no matter what, if you're claiming a credit for yourself to appear on your ESS statement. So ESS is a statement to make sure that no matter what, it all applies to you. If you understand straight away that you have to be giving your TFN declaration to people, and that way you understand straight away what ESS is. I mean, ESS is Employee Share Schemes, and that's what it stands for. And I'm understanding that no matter what, if you understand straight away how people go through terms and conditions, and they give special tax and may apply about eligibility around conditions that are met, and they go for making sure that no matter what, that they're making sure every single day that you are eligible about being a tax concerning individual, in a way that you're concerning with yourself, making sure that you go and really understand your advice over here, which is making sure that you can go and apply your tax returns in a way that you have to call them for that information. And what I call them with and about is making sure that I can go and ask them about how do I actually apply the TFN to giving people money. I just go and answer. I go and answer that on Google. How do I give? How do I give TFN to? I say, how do I give tax file number to employer? It's more how I understand that. I say, how do I give TFN? I understand that already. I realize it's more how do I give TFN? See, now TFN, I have to give TFN for what? I have to give their TFN to who? I have to give their TFN to somebody. But who do I give it to? I have to give it to the banks. I have to give it to other people. Or else I have to give it to ATO. I have to give the other people's TFN number to the ATO. I have to call them and say this is their TFN number. And then what happens from that point? I realize from that point I have to call them. I have to say what happens from that point. I realize once you give the people the once you give the people the TFN number, otherwise, then guess what? Then it's more how they receive the money. But you have to apply them for tax. Since you're giving them money, you have to give them the money in a way that you pay them, and you give them the money that they're worth. But then guess what happens? They get the money right away. Get the full amount. They get the full amount right away. So if you are working for $200 an hour, then you get $200 an hour. But then after 1 year, you have to go tax returns. And then guess what? Then they tax you 60% of that money, or 40% of the money. And that's what it is. Otherwise, that's what it is, yeah? But guess what? That's what I'm learning right now. So what I'm learning is I understand straight away. The nice and beautiful options here is understanding that since they actually go through tax returns and through ATO to give people nice and beautiful services of information through the actual tax returns over there with the ATO, then they actually have to call people over there to say, hey, this one over here is an individual that I gave money to. But you have to always call them. Now they say eventually that you have to just go and always be able to recollect the tax number. And as you give them tax numbers or whatever, if you just give them the money legally, then you have to file the tax return with them. And you have to you have to actually file the TFN number with them each and every time you give them money. It's much more like it. Whereas now, if you understand that, it's much more how it's updating the system. that that individual is receiving money from you each and every week. So you have to call those people every single week to say, hey, this individual has some money. I gave them money. Or else what do? Or should they see it in the system and let it be? Or that's all it is, yeah? Or now, why do you have to call them up for this? I mean, it's more how you have to understand straight away that if you understand something, that there may be some computer systems over here that you just place a number and TFN number or something like that, and it happens for you. And then it verifies in the computer for you, and you never have to call people for it. Or actually, it can happen. But I'm not saying that's something different now. I'm making sure that no matter what, I can learn some other kind of systems over here, where I'm understanding that no matter what, they never have to call them either. But the thing is now, that since I'm understanding that, or else that's all my questions now, I'm understanding what I have to do now is a little bit. Or else now, from that point, I realize that there's higher companies that do security guard, as the guy says, and you can hire companies, and there's many people that hire people security, like removalists and everything, is what the guy's saying to me. So I'm not saying anyway, I can always hire people for one day. I understand I can hire people for one day work. I'm sure I can do that. I'm sure it's possible. Whereas what I want to do now is a little bit now, I want to make sure I move on with my business over here. I want to make sure that as I move on throughout life, that I'm learning different aspects of life quickly. And we'll also have to learn about that kind of individuality. I'm pretty sure you can give the money through phone. I mean, you can give your money through phone to other people. And that's how you give money. I mean, you ask for that account and BSB number. And guess what? Approach you. As soon as you get the money, then you have to call the ATO and say, give me a tax file number too. And the payslip is just that. I mean, the payslip is just get the tax file number and 3-digit numbers and more. And make sure that you understand to get all the numbers in terms of BSB and account number and tax file number. And that's your payslip. And then you can create your own payslip if you want. And you can say, this is your invoice. I gave you the money. I understand, but that's something to credit yourself about. I mean, that's something to help yourself to say, hey, I'm a company. I have a payslip now to give people. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, and then guess what, bro? And then they see their invoice, and then they say, hey, that they did receive the money. I gave you the receipt, and then you keep your receipts. And how do you keep your receipts? I mean, keep it online somewhere, and that's it. And store it online that you gave them the money. And that's something different. I'm making sure that's like accounting. And then from that point, you must understand that from that point, you can hire the people over and over again if you want, otherwise. Although make sure you understand that anyway, from that point, I'm making sure that no matter what, on the day, I can see straight away how my services is happening. But what I need to do is understand straight away to help myself deliver. And I have to deliver content on the day first. I have no worries about that. I can stand up in front of people and do all this information for free. And if they screw me over, probably it's much more how I feel I'm learning from the whole day anyway. But it's much more how I made the money already. I made all that money already. So what I do now is I ask for the money. I ask for the money too. I ask for more money on the day. And I ask for plastic money too. And I ask to get plastic money so I can do more work. And I can do more work regardless, but I'm asking for more anyway. And what I do is I have to ask people for more. I have to ask people, just like I have to ask Jesus Christ to give me money. I'm pretty sure Jesus Christ says, I gave you money. I'm pretty sure now, if you ask Jesus anything, I'm pretty sure Jesus Christ can give you information only. I mean, but that's it. Russian information is everything. Russian now, since I'm understanding that, I'm going to say now what I want to do is just let it be. I want to go and understand straight away to go and help myself to deliver my products. So what I want to do is I have to get myself a laser. I understand the information behind all that is done. I already did process all that information, which is APN or as in all this nice and beautiful employee information, all that. Or as now anything else in terms of employees, or as when's the date where I may apply to employ somebody for my work. I'm pretty sure that it's much more how I understand straight away where I can find that information. Probably it's on Gumtree and it's on these job services, and I have to post advertisements now. Probably that's all it is. So what I need to do is I need to go through this information here. So what I need to go and do right now, because I have to do it eventually. And do I have to do it eventually? Probably yes. I have to do that information regardless. I have to go and find information on how to make myself successful upon putting advertisements out there to make sure that I can have a customer, or make sure every single day that I just go to them instead of them having to come to me. I go to them. I make sure I just go and hire them. And now, what's that kind of individuality for? Obviously, it's more how I need to invite people to my seminar here to help me to do my work. But understand that thing is right here. That is the kind of information where I'm not saying that you never ever wait for other people to come to you. I mean, you have to go to them to hire them. And you have to say, hey, I pick you as my employee. Otherwise, then you have to understand that you have to go to them. But who's much more qualifying to be able to go and do an FBOSS machine for me? It's much more those people who can do a register. In terms of anybody who can do it behind the bar or register cashier or something like that. It's something I have to have in my job network here. But I'm not saying I'm removalist. I can teach them. I can teach anybody to do what I'm doing. I mean, and that's the thing, yeah. I mean, just go and grab anybody per hour. And as you grab anybody per hour, then you have to understand straight away that you get them on the day to come to your beautiful seminar or whatever it is, or events, and make sure they understand that they can also do it for you. I mean, understand? And that's the thing, yeah. I mean, make sure you understand that if you're always constantly showing people the door over there, but making sure that no matter what, if you have people at the front door waiting for you, then you have to have them the whole day right there. And it's $60 per hour and more. And make sure that no matter what, it's around $60 per hour. I'm making sure anyway that since you understand that, then make sure that you're growing yourself regardless of what's happening. And just be able to pronunciate yourself better and better and better is what we're talking about. But own the kind of individuality that you have to make sure that as you plan your seminar that you're looking ahead on the time to see exactly what's happening before it happens. And then talk it out and talk it out and talk it out. And that means you're always doing better and better and better. But I'm learning the process here. I'm learning the process of information behind this. And as I'm learning the process of information behind this, I'm putting it into audio content. And as I do that, no matter what, I can hire companies, I can hire people. I'm understanding how people can help you with words, and then you can go and do it yourself. I mean, but you have to train yourself to have the information, is what we're talking about. And that's it. Approach, if you understand straight away how to actually go and deliver content, approach, it's very easy to type some numbers and to be able to receive whatever you want. I mean, that's it. Approach, and that's information I have to learn as well. And I'm making sure, anyway, I'm going through the process and stages now. But what is other information I need about this? Approach, it's more making advertisements now. I have to be making advertisements, but what kind of advertisements? I mean, I have to make advertisements about having myself prosper in what kind of manner, or else in types of manners, in terms of manners where I'm understanding that I have to go and grow myself through advertising myself by making myself go to them. I have to make myself go to them. So do I want somebody right now? Or should no? I have I only. I only. So I want someone always, but I'm understanding that no matter what I want to do is, do I need to go online now and post that information and see the process like that? Actually, yes, so I need to see the process, but is it that kind of aspect of life do I need, or do I need to go to them first? I have to go to them first. I love that. I'm pretty sure, although that kind of scenario where Tony Robbins has all these employees and stuff like that behind him, I'm pretty sure that's different. That's something different. That's where he files everything through tax returns, and he calls people into a number, and he makes sure anyway that from that point that he's giving people that nice and beautiful notion over here that he's giving money to other people while he's actually having a company, while he's making everything from real estate, and that's it. I mean, that's it. But does he have to call people for 3-4 hours a day to file them to tax returns, or does he give a list of one call? So he calls up one time. I mean, he may be calling up one time a week or something, where he gives all of his list of names about all these numbers. I mean, does he have to do that? Probably yes. Probably has to give all the numbers in one call every time. I mean, every time he gives the money, Roshi has to file them as a tax file number. Roshi has to. Roshi, that's what you have to do. Roshi, you have to call every single week. That if you give money weekly to those people, you have to call the taxation office every single week. And you have to be calling them to say, hey, these are the people I gave money to this week. And you have to file them like that to do tax. And you have to file them, and once you file them to do tax like this, then the taxation office is aware of it. And as soon as they're aware of it, approach, if those people go and never file tax returns, approach, what happens when they are doing business throughout life and they're never filing for tax returns? Approach, suddenly they're making money, and suddenly people are asking them for tax file number, and guess what happens? Approach, it's much more how they can never ever get away from it. Approach, it's much more how they feel that they are able to go and do life without tax. But guess what? Approach, they have to give tax money eventually. Because otherwise, if they get found out by the company of taxation office and whatever, and they may be owing a standard or an owing amount of whatever it is in tax, and then everybody wants to see, where did that money go? I mean, why didn't you go and tax file it? I mean, why didn't you go and do tax returns? I mean, and then people want to understand that factor, and why didn't you do it? And then people just want you to go do it. I mean, if you never want to do it, then it's because you may be doing criminal work activity. I mean, in a sense, so the government here is trying to expose you and your money, totally. And they're trying to expose you, and that's excellent. They're trying to expose you. But that's the system of the government, so that's what's happening around the government. So you have to file those tax returns all the time, otherwise you're doing criminal work. I mean, so that's why tax returns are happening. So I'm not saying, anyway, people have to go and call up the payroll and everything in terms of people go around calling payrolls and saying, hey, when's my money coming? Russian, guess what, Russian, or else you already give those dates and everything is happening. But make sure you understand that, or else that's what I was doing. I was always calling the payroll to see when my money was coming. I understand, although I guess what, Russian, it's much more how I feel now, that no matter what, that since I'm understanding my day over here, I'm understanding I'm successful, but what else do I need to do? I love what I approach those job seekers that have all these nice and beautiful advertisements online. Of they're looking for their own employees, but they're advertising. And now, do you have to advertise like that? Probably no. Probably never do that. Probably never advertise on those job seeker sites for employees. Probably never do it. And why is that? Because it's a waste of time. I mean, there's many competition. I mean, there's so much competition here. But if you want to get an employee quickly, then go straight and find them quickly. And there's many of them. I'm pretty sure there's people that you can train straight away for one day. I'm pretty sure $60 per hour or whatever. And you can hire people and neighbors. I mean, you can go to neighbors and say, hey, I need you for $1,000 a day, or I can give you $1,000 a day to work for me. Or should say, what? I mean, what do you need, man? I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody is your fucking employee around town here. I mean, if you want to go just knock on doors around here and just say, I need an employee for this day. I mean, are you guys able to be my employee? I mean, how much are you giving? I'm giving $10,000 per hour. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I mean, we can do it for you. I mean, straight away, I'm pretty sure they fucking do it for you, because you understand. But you can go online and you can get all these people to go and do whatever you need to do. So that way you understand straight away what you need to do. So I'm saying that no matter what, you never wait for other people to work for you. I mean, you just go hire people. I mean, go hire people and go and find them. I mean, you never wait for other people to come to you. I mean, you have to go to them. I mean, never wait for that woman or man to come to you. I mean, you have to go to them. I mean, you have to go to them. Because it's your responsibility. I mean, you understand? I mean, as soon as you understand, if they're somewhere in unawareness somewhere and they're gone somewhere where you're unavailable to even get to them, then guess what, bro? You have to be available to get to them. I mean, you have to get yourself in a position where you can ask those people or their family members or something around them to find those people. So I understand that no matter what, I can see straight away, if you want to find somebody, then go and ask people where they are. I mean, just ask about them. I mean, ask people around the area how you can actually get to them. I mean, the information is there, but if you just ask, you shall receive. Probably it's that simple, yeah. I'm probably if they never answer your question, then guess what? Probably it's because they have somebody. Probably that's the answer, yeah. Probably now, if they never come searching for you, then guess what? Probably that's why you go and do you. I mean, in a sense, so the whole point is understanding that whatever I need right now is to focus on information services over here, to focus on solving all those questions I have. So any other questions I have is focusing on understanding that no matter what, and since I'm actually doing this, I'm making money, but guess what, bro? I have no scarcity, because I understand that my first process over here is the process of making money. And the process of making money is in information first. I mean, give information first and learn the information first, and then you can make the money. I mean, once you have the information to give, then you have the money to give. I mean, without the information, then there is no money. But what you do is you process the information quickly, and you're looking for quick habitats of making sure that no matter what, you're learning very quickly upon what you need to do to succeed. And then focus upon that and focusing upon energy and services and making sure that you're getting ahead. So what I want to do now is everything's done. Making sure that the day of my reckoning over here in terms of my Nice and Beautiful seminar is for free. I mean, it's a free seminar for now. But I have an FBOSS machine. And why did I get the FBOSS machine? I have to get the FBOSS machine regardless. I have to have that FBOSS machine regardless, because guess what I do? I make sure I'm charging people at my events. Or else, although, guess what I do with the FBOSS machine? I have to give it back very soon. I mean, why? Why do I have to give it back very soon? Because that FBOSS machine is something that is taking away money from me now. I mean, why is that? I realize that it's more how I need to go and learn the FBOSS machine to go and type it and be able to type those numbers for my event right now that's happening only. And then after that event, Russia, then it's taking money away from me. Russia then becomes a liability. I mean, but then guess what, Russia, then I'm making another event. But that all depends on what's happening with the world. But I'm making always another event somewhere. And then I use the FBOSS machine, and now it's an asset for me. So as long as I'm making more events, then that FBOSS machine I have is an asset for me. But guess what, Project now it's just one FBOSS machine. That's the thing now, Project now. That's why I'm understanding that no matter what, that for now, that FBOSS machine is worthy for me for now. But then what happens after is I have to get multiple FBOSS machines. I have to get multiple FBOSS machines to have 5 customers or 6 customers or 10 customers or 20 customers to give me money at once at my seminars. I mean, that's the thing, yeah? I mean, that's where JT Fox is at. When JT Fox has already 20 people signing up to his programs within the fucking seminar, man. I mean, there's no fucking big line here. Or else with one FBOSS machine, there's a fucking line, isn't there? Or else, so what I need to do is I need to let it be now. I mean, that's what I'm learning now, what to do. So, anyway, that what I do now is a little bit, and I make sure that from now on, I have customers in terms of my next seminars. I have more people at my seminars. And what I do at my next seminars is I hire people, regardless. I have to hire people to stand at the door. I have to hire people also to be in the seminar, and also to be able to follow them at the back of the room, to go to the back of the room, to be able to give them that nice beautiful voucher of their money. And now what do I do with these seminars? I mean, do I make a free seminar, or do I make something of advertisement to make sure that it's something that I'm making money with? Actually, first, I have to make a free seminar. I mean, why is that? I mean, it's a free seminar right now. I mean, although guess what, probably because I did that, I understand that many people may never come. I mean, whereas the thing is that I realize now that since I gave them a price, or else is it much better to give them a price or to give them for free first? Actually, the freedom way is much more likely for them to come. I understand, but $200 is what blocks them over here. I understand, although guess what, probably it's more how I want to make money. And now because I understand that, I realize I want to keep it at $200 always. And now why is that? I understand because I'm making money. Now because I understand that, it's much more how I feel that I'm doing greater and greater here right now. So what I want to do is from that point, I want to make more money. I want to congratulate myself to do better. And I want to make sure that no matter what, that I'm learning. I'm learning how to do this. So I understand that in my next event, I have to have already one employee who stands at the door at least. And I'm understanding always that right now, I already gave $740. I guess $740. Or 740, I realized I gave $800 for this seminar. I'm saying $800 to have one seminar a month. I mean, that's how it is for now. I mean, that's bare minimum. I realize although a little bit for now, I'm making sure I can get that number and statistic. But for now, I'm understanding that no matter what, I have that number and statistic now. So I'm understanding that it's $800 per seminar that I make. I mean, they're saying I have to invest $800 per seminar, and I have a number. So I'm understanding straight away how to make my I'm understanding straight away how to make my numbers work for myself. So I'm understanding straight away how that's really $691,000 I have to give to have my seminars throughout my lifetime and more. Whereas now I just go and do that. I say over here, I say $691,000. I say 200, and I let it be that way. I can give that money. I have to give that money anyway. Otherwise. First now, since I make that event happen, I realize that's just for my public speaking ranges and more. I say now, since I'm understanding, I put that into SXP. I have to give for my events. I have to give for my events and more around this number. I say anyway. I realize that's the number right there. But since I have a number, now I understand straight away. I'm picking up information over here. I'm picking up more information about what's going on, about my business, but it's a slow transition into a business career over here. So I understand straight away from that point. I'm not saying the employees are done. I'm not saying no matter what, that for my next seminars coming up, I have to understand I have to have multiple FBOSS machines now. I mean, that's the thing, yeah. I have to have multiple FBOSS machines. And Ben Harvey and JT Fox have multiple people working for them and multiple actual FBOSS machines ready to go. And that's it, approach. Now, why is that? I realize, although it's much more how it is. Approach, although guess what, approach, it's much more how I understand that from this seminar, otherwise, I have to make a bigger seminar. I realize now from the bigger seminars, I realize that one FBOSS machine is more enough. Approach, one FBOSS machine is more enough. I mean, why is that? I understand if I make those big events like Tony Robbins has, that's already Ticketek online FBOSS machines. So I'm not saying that no matter what, that it's more how I need to go from FBOSS machines to Ticketek online. And now that solves that solves everything for me. I'm understanding that although when I understand anything, I understand straight away that I have to get to the point of being able to do links online. And how do I make those links online now? I make sure that I have to go and sign up to a provider who can help me with that. I have to sign up with Ticketek or with any kind of nice and beautiful, let's say, club who can help me to do that. In terms of any kind of nightclub can help me do that. I understand. Now, a Scary Canary, approach they can do it. They can all do it, but then make sure you understand I have to have a greater way than a third party. I'm making sure that no matter what, I'm doing better than that. I'm making sure that what I do is, from that point, I'm making sure that I can see my business forward. I can see straight away how I'm making the crowd work. I realize the numbers around people. I realize that followers in terms of numbers. I realize now, here is where I'm understanding I have to do better. I have to do better in terms of my followers with numbers, but how do I actually do that? I mean, all I do is speak more words with more numbers. I have to have more numbers in my life to have more followers. I mean, in a sense, so I realize now, since I'm understanding that, I realize it's much more how I speak more words, and that's it. Approach, that's all I'm doing. And now, since I'm understanding to make more money with numbers and words, I realize what else do I have to do? I make sure that no matter what, that my business is orchestrating itself through different ways of doing anything, and making sure that anyway, I'm making money on the day, otherwise, I'm making more words, I'm making the experience work, I'm having this whole experience around myself for the first time, for free, for my birthday, and for my 29th birthday, forever, in my brain. I mean, it's forever done. And then what I want to do is understand how great it can be for me to make $20,000 on this day. I mean, for me to make $20,000 in one day is amazing. I'm pretty sure. It can happen on 29th of May, but what I need to do, I've already made that. I already made the money. I already made all that money. But thing is, how money, in terms of what you ask for, can block you. I mean, how? I mean, guess what, Proshi? Because other people never feel worthy about their words. But that's why I'm always feeling more worthy about my words. But I'm understanding that no matter what, that other people I see already, some people can never afford it, but I can afford it. I mean, I never care about them. I mean, I care about the people who can afford to have me around. I mean, so what I do is I move up, and what I do now is I go and promote my business cards more. And I give more and more out. I want to be able to give more and more business cards out. And the more I give money into the people, the better. And that way I'm understanding anyway. What I want to do now is a letter B. I want to make sure that anyway, that what's coming up in information process now is the FBOSS machines coming up. And also I have to go and file on that nice and beautiful day. I have to make it excellent, and then I have to go and find out everything on that day. So on that day, I can see how the people are with me. I can see what I need to do with people. I'm not saying I'm taping it and I'm recording it on the day. And now, as I record myself on the day, I want to make sure that I'm recording myself. I have no problem here. I have no problem recording myself in just my seminar with my information. I mean, and guess what? I promise you I can get my biological dad to say, hey, I mean, just show people around here my video. Otherwise, it's much more like that. If he's never willing to do that for me, I mean, guess what? I mean, I never need him then. But that's the thing, yeah. I mean, just ask him. I mean, just ask him on the day to do it. He does it for me. I mean, just ask your biological family or someone to do it for you on the day. They do it for you. I mean, so guess what? I mean, it's a free seminar. So as you understand straight away, and then if you ask for more money from that, it's much more how you feel that you're worthy of it. And then guess what, it's much more how you can just go do you. But that's how it is, yeah. I mean, you gave them already information they deserve on a day, and that's it. Now, you must understand anyway that those people who do something for you, I mean, just lay off the nice meal for $200 and say, hey, I mean, those people who are in the seminar today, I mean, make sure you guys understand that no matter what, I want to give one opportunity to you guys today to be able to record me today, and you guys have $200 gone from your life today in terms of, it's never gone from your life, but you guys never have to give me $200 for this seminar today. I mean, who wants to do that for me? I mean, who wants to record me today doing my seminar without having to give me $200? I mean, anyway, the first one to put their hand up, I'm just going that way. make sure that understand that the first one to put their hand up is the one I go. I said the first one to put their hand up is the one to do that for me. Understand? And that way I'm not saying I first. I understand from that point, I realized that no matter what, that any kind of information more that I may need, I make sure that no matter what, I can see the processes of what's going on much better. But I'm understanding the tax systems and also business mindset systems, I can see straight away how I need to move forward with everything. But anyway, I realized that now, since I'm understanding that my nice and beautiful life over here is doing better. And I'm actually understanding straight away how to just go and do my life now. And as I do my life, I just go and really understand to just go and type $60 over here into Officeworks. I see $60. I say iBusiness cards. Say iBusiness cards, promotions. Say iBusiness cards, promotions. And as I do that, I'm making sure anyway that what I want to do is I understand how Ben Harvey and over here these people who are actually, let's say, making seminars around town, and they invite people first for the seminar for free, and then they pitch them on the day, packages. But guess what? Apparently, it's much more how you have to understand this. It's much more how I never want to do that. I never wanted to do that. And why is that? I'm more successful. I'm more successful never doing that. And that's the way I feel. That's the way my products. That's the way my products go. Otherwise, Rush now. Why is that? Because I give everything free. I give everything for free anyway. I'm pretty sure although those people never come to my seminar, never get a free 8-hour lecture at first. That's it. Guess what? Probably it's much more how I feel. And no matter what, if I say it's for free entry, then you have to give me $200. Or else it's much more how I feel that I can't say it otherwise. Or else I never have to say that to them. I can understand on the day I say it to them. And I'm pretty sure it's much better for me because I get people who are much more deserving of my content to come to me on the day. Or that's it, bro. Those people who understand that they have no blockages with $200 per ticket, bro, they deserve my information much more than those people who never want to give me $200 in the first place. Bro, those people who want to give me $200 deserve to be my seminar and deserve to be at my seminar, and that's how it's always going to be. It's always going to be this way. Bro, they have to raise their value to be with me, and that's it. They're saying, but I'm always asking for $200. And now, at my next seminars, I want to be making sure that anyway, at the doors, I have somebody this time at the doors. So, do I want multiple people at the doors or do I want one person at the door or something? I want to understand straight away that I want some employees to be working for me on the day. And I want to make sure that I just hire somebody. I hire multiple people if I have to. But for myself, even one person just before the door is more enough. In a sense, so if I hire somebody, just one person, if I hire my person in terms of just one person before the door on the day, this time, I can let it be this time. Now, guess what, I never have to hire them at all. I never have to hire these people. I can do the same kind of system here. And guess what, it works out the best for me. I save money straight away. And I save already, let's say 60 times... let's just say 60 times, let's have a look, 60 times 8, I save $480 or more. In the sense, so no matter what, I realize that with $480, I can hire a removalist on the day, and a guy can go around recording me and doing my cash register on the whole day. That's what I can do. Now, do I do it? Guess what? It's much more likely that I can get somebody like a removalist to do that for me the whole day, and it's a successful day to do that. To give $480 to somebody to come on my day over here and to just be at the door and just encourage me to help me around, it's much more better I do it. It's much better for me to do it. So what I want to do is closer to the events, I want to make sure anyway I can call whoever I need to be able to work for me from whatever amount of time. So let's have a look. I make sure anyway that what I do is I hire them per hour. I hire the people per hour. I love it. I do the same thing as I did with my Uber driver. Although guess what? If I hire them, I want them the whole day. I want to give them the max capacity. And now if I do that, it's a successful day for me to do it. I max it out. I give as much as I can here. Jesus Christ is saying excellent. I give them as much as I can, but guess what? I get somebody to do my cash register and also to film me for 1 day. And I max it out. Now I have no problems. And I can get them to never even come to the door. And they come to the door, but they never come inside. And I max it out and give full money over here. I can give $500. I can give $500 right now, on the day, to the person who comes to help me. I mean, understand? And that way, I'm not saying straight away I get a customer. I get somebody straight away to do it for me. I say I can get David Uber. I can actually call Uber David to come and do me a service. And whereas Uber, guess what? David is in Port Stephens over there. Or if I called him, I'd say $500 on a day if you want to come. But all he has to do is drive all the way to Mounties. Let me have a look at it, man. I get to also see him as well, but let's have a look. Now, he is excellent with me, man. This guy is excellent. I can trust him. Sorry. I can trust him. Let's have a look at how far Port Stephens is. He's more than willing to do it for me. I call him, I give him a call over here. Make sure that, anyway, he's excellent. But how far is Port Stephens from here? 4 hours. By what? It's 2 hour and 44-minute drive. But is he willing to do it for me? Nah. Now, is he willing to do it? No. It's too much of a drive for him anyway. It's 2 hours and 44-minute drive. He can do a 2 hour 44-minute drive on the way. Although on the same day, $500. Although guess what? It's more how he makes money on the day. It's much more how Jesus Christ says. It's very tight for him to do it. Let him be. I'll move on. I can get something about. I didn't want to make him drive this much, man. But I was close. With him. Unfortunately, now either way, I didn't want to make him drive 600 kilometers, but I understand straight away. I understand the time I had with David over there in Port Stephens. He drove me around 20 beaches around there. He drove me 1 day around 20 beaches, man. Just some random Uber driver, man. And just say, just take me to all the beaches around here. Just drive me to all the beaches, man, please. And never take me, but drive me all the way. And that way I'm understanding that no matter what, as I demand, I shall ask myself to do it with somebody that I ask for. And that's why I ask always. But I'm understanding straight away how I succeed. But what I do is I'm willing to give up to $500. I'm willing to do that. And I understand straight away that since I do that, I'm successful. I max it out completely. And I look excellent. At least on my 29th birthday. I look excellent. I have no shame. That's already $1,300 I give for this event. I'm sure that I'm much better than that. Alright, let's go and see Gumtree, for example. Let's go and see what kind of affordable rates I can get on Gumtree. I can go job seeker. I can go get somebody. I can get a school student, man. I can get somebody to do it for me, man. Alright, now anyway, I realize that's what I mean, yeah? And I'm just looking for an employee. See, I just have to go and I have to contact them. I have to call them on the day. I have to call to see exactly what I can do over here. So I can say straight away how I feel. I can see now. Anyway, I want to see cash register. I see cash register. I say job. I say cash register. I go with what I need. See cleaning jobs. See no. I want to get somebody on the go. I want to get someone on demand over here. I see over here. I see cash register. See now cash register. Whereas now, is that the kind of thing that I want? Whereas removalists are people that you can call per hour right away. Whereas that, since I understand straight away how I understand this, I'm understanding that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly upon helping myself to hire at least one staff member. But these people are searching. These people are learning. So what I want to do is I want to say anyway who's self-employment around here. And it's more how I'm understanding straight away to just search for something and just to see who's giving what around here. I'm saying anyway that since I actually do that, I can call any number. It's negotiable over here. See, people who are working for themselves. I want to see people who are working for themselves around here. And as I go and do that, I'm understanding straight away I can see remove list. And now, do I want a remove list individual over here? I can train them. See, anyway, what I want to do is I see on Gumtree they're selling jobs around here, and you can go for your own job over here. And what you do is just go and see and just browse online and see what you can find about stuff over here. So, I mean, this person over here is doing a mowing service in some kind of park over here. So I'm not saying that they can always do it for me, but I want to get someone per hour. I mean, as I go and do someone, or as I go and do somebody as I go and do somebody per hour in a better way, I'm learning very quickly about what I need to do to succeed, and that's why I'm learning how to actually just drop a method over here to show you. Then looking through the Gumtree over here to make sure that I'm learning very quickly upon how to just go and negotiate with people to come and help me on the day, and that's it. Or I can go neighbors around here. I can go and do that with neighbors. Which that's how it is, yeah. But that's what you have to do to succeed so you can do great, bro.